And welcome to Bangers and Mosh, the podcast for heavy music. Today we are joined by Caine Hemmingway of the sensational up-and-coming band Believe in Nothing. What's up, Caine? How's things?
Hello. Yes, good. Thank you. I'm in my little room where I do these interviews, and it's incredibly hot.
Oh,
So,
is it?
yeah, it's fucking well hot.
Does it get
So
quite cold up there in winter Scotland?
it's about the same as down where you are.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
But it's just this room. It's like if if we leave the radiator on, it's like the hottest thing in the world. So I'm gonna quietly sweat while we do this, and it'll probably ease off
Yeah,
halfway through.
perspirating.
Yeah.
Unless you've got the same condition that, Prince Edward has, and then,
No,
you don't sweat, and then, we're good.
not yet. Not yet.
Amazing, man. So
Great stuff.
let's crack on with a little bit about Believe in Nothing, mate. Tell us about how the band sort of first got started.
Okay. Um, so the band started off the back of just basically trying to fall in love with like writing music in a room again.
Mm.
That was that was my big thing. So a couple of previous projects that I was in, and um, I sort of felt that catching the energy in the room element be a lot more of it was a far thing away, and I really missed that. So I sort of scheduled a really off the cuff jam with Jasper, who's now the drummer. I was playing drums in that jam, and Jasper was playing bass, and we just like musically just hit it off really quickly,
Okay.
which was really cool. And yeah, we wrote like what is Fistful of Worms. Um,
Mm.
we wrote it and recorded it in like 4 hours.
Oh,
So
fucking hell.
yeah, from like literally first sitting at the kit. So that was really cool to come away with something so instantly, because he's like does recording and engineering and stuff. That was like, wow, okay, we really did just have fun writing in a room, didn't we? And then we recorded it.
Oh, that's so sick, dude.
Yeah, and then I brought in Steve Collier, who was in a local band called Tempest in the past,
Yeah,
and
his name rings a bell actually, like that.
yeah, they were like a sort of metalcore band, and they'd been around for quite a while and done some tours and played some gigs. I think they played for like Palm Reader. And then I brought in my friend Lawrence, who I worked with at Half Man Half Burger. Shout
Yeah.
out Man Half
Yeah, I love that fucking joint, man. I was hoping you'd mention them.
Burger. Yeah, I love that place as well. Anyway, yeah, so I brought in Lawrence because he had just left a band where it was like a pretty straight up fresh band, but it was like, fucking hell, you're such a talented guitarist and very good performer. So I was just trying to bring in these other people into this like jam that had happened, and then we sort of bounced around, and we had a drummer, and then he wasn't available, and then we started really hitting on something with Jasper playing bass still and with a drummer, and then I got pneumonia,
Oh
and then
shit.
yeah, it was yeah, obviously as a vocalist that was not ideal.
Mm.
I was smoking like maybe 60, maybe more a day, so that didn't help. And then yeah, getting pneumonia really fucked me up, and
Yeah, as it does.
it like put me on my ass, but it made me not know whether I was going to be able to do the vocals again. So
Oh,
when we all came back to the room, we didn't have a drummer. I didn't know if I was going to be able to do vocals again, and we had to really fight like hard to try and push through and find out what to do. Jasper ended up jumping away from bass and going on drums, and then things started to click, and we just focused. We threw away so much material, um, of stuff that we'd sort of written disparately, and like the guys bringing stuff from all their computer land into rooms, like fully written songs and stuff. And we put them all in a bin. We're like, right, let's start fresh. We always write in the room. We always have the noise board set up. We write from the gut. Let's just start spawning this thing. And slowly, like as the band started to find its feet, like my voice, I started to recognize that I will be able to do it again. but that knock like really made me not take for granted the like sort of the value in being able to perform extreme vocals, you know, and just
Yeah.
like how important it was to me.
D-
So yeah, that's basically a long-ish version of how the band started. Like the underlying thing is like it wasn't fucking easy. We had
Yeah.
to really fight to like try and just get there. But once we found a sound, we we sort of jumped off from there. Yeah.
So tell me a bit more about the sound actually, because the next question I've got here is like, you guys seem to like blend together like such a massive, you know, tapestry of influences. So I was really interested to kind of like get into your brain about like how you guys are bringing all those kind of ideas together, because I know we'll touch on it a bit later, but I know you've done a lot of other stuff with surrounding the album rock, but what I wanted to sort of touch on as well is that, you know, I've spoken to Dwid from Integrity,
Mm.
and he almost sort of seems to have a very similar sort of mind as yours. Like
That's
he's
very
very creative,
thank you.
very like, you know, he's like almost like he is a pretty much a musical genius, like with some of the stuff he's doing. And I kind of getting that from like what you guys are doing as well. So like, how do you make that cohesive sound with so many different electronical things and everything else that you got going on and all sorts?
Yeah, there's a lot going on, and
Mm,
thank you for that. That's like mad high praise. And yeah, so the way that I had a really clear picture in my head about how I wanted the band or thought the band could sound like, the influences I was coming in with were Full of Hell,
yeah.
Chat Pile, and just some other kind of heavy bits. That
Mm,
was the initial like thing. The rest of the guys, they didn't listen to that kind of thing. Like that just isn't their bag, and I think that's awesome. They're into sort of other sorts of pockets of heavy music. But I was coming in with like, this is where I think we should be going, and we all had to find what Believe in Nothing sounds like as a team. That wasn't just me like sort of dictating here, there, and everywhere, this is what we should do. It was a gentle process. So like influences that we kind of brought in were the chat pile, being able to have that sort of narrative to the songs to like
mm,
bring you into the story. Um, I'm a massive Nick Cave fan, like, and here Nick Cave and Tom Waits, the way that they like paint this infinitely broken and picture that is constructed from all sorts of disparate and abstract places of imagination. Wanted, I can't help but write in this bizarre way. Like if I'm writing a fucking email to my boss or writing a song, it's all coming out weird. So that kind of ends up being in there. And then like within the constraints of doing heavy music, like I have to be really straight to the point. I didn't want to be driveling on too much. So trying to blend all of that stuff in lyrically has come out like with the song What Would You Do, where you've got this story of like crowds gathering around and violence and um people filming it, and you're like, what, are you not going to help, like that kind of thing. And then halfway through the song I was like, I think I've said too much, bang, and then it's just like one word, horror. um
that's so sick, man.
but the sort of springboard for finding the sound, what I suppose, was like always having the noise board set up when we're writing, because as what I would refer to as like a very noise orientated band, when we come to write these songs, if we found that if we write them without that sort of humming electric texture going through the songs, and where I can like jump in and help lead the songwriting or add a texture underneath, if that's not there, the guys are trying to fill too much sonic space. So in actual fact, it's more about leaving space than making it, I suppose.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just one of those things, isn't it? That like, I suppose you as artists know like what you're kind of doing there. That sort of sounds like for me, for someone that's like just listens to music. I haven't got the foggiest clue about any of that sort of stuff, even though I was in a band when I was younger, but not anything. We just like playing metalcore. It was nothing as intense as what you guys are kind of creating.
Yeah, it took time to get there. Like, and I'm not like music theory buff or anything. The rest of the guys are.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Well, that helps
like,
sometimes,
It does help, but to a big degree, in Believe in Nothing, a lot of that shit was kind of put aside, I think, and we concentrated more on like, okay, what's the story of this song? What does it sound like? Where's it placed? Like, where in the world of rock, the picture that is in our heads, in my head when I'm writing the lyrics, where is this song, and where can like the earth fucking open up and you be pulled in, or something jumps out? Writing it more like a scene, rather than verse chorus break. It's like trying to jump scare things, and where a story would lead. It's a lot looser, I suppose. It sounds so fucking wanky and like just cliche, but it is kind of like that. Steve, the guitarist and bassist, took a lot of influence from like horror films and those kind of moments of tension and stuff.
Yeah, that definitely comes over in the album, like, and in the general sound. Like, it's fucking, the mind boggles, mate. Like how you guys have managed to create something like that.
Thank you, man. Like that, the last track, Rot, starts with Jasper pulling a note off of a ladder with a bow from a violin.
Oh, mate, fucking hell.
So that's like that first sound in there. And it's like, it's so shrill and like, oh no, like nails down chalkboard kind of thing, tension. So those kind of little moments when we're writing in the room will spawn off like, okay, now that is more shaping the sound. It's I suppose as musicians and knowing where you want to go with writing a song for the band and having like a strong idea for it, you need those little moments where it like all inspires you.
Absolutely.
But I suppose that's just like the musical side. The lyrical side is slightly different beast, I'd say.
Well, how do you get around that then? Like, do you do your lyrics to the music, or have you already got it written out and then put the music to the lyrics?
A lot of the way I used to write in other bands was I generally come in with quite a lot of material pre-written, like a sort of long poetry freeform thing. But with this, I've really tried to have such a different approach to Believe in Nothing. Like, one of the main core things with this is I didn't want to write anything from a personal and traumatic place. Like, I'd been there and done that, and it was helpful at first, and then it just fucking wasn't. It just hurt, and it just kept hurting. It was like pulling the scar tissue away from something that really is kind of pretty much healed. It just wasn't helpful. And I kind of learned from that. Definitely learned a lot from that. And so what I wanted to do with Believe in Nothing was write from a bit more of a reflective place of the fucking dirge that we live in every day, the scary world that's like building up around us. And I didn't want to put, excerpts of fucking eulogies that I've written for my family in there, because I don't want to go over it. So a lot of the stuff was written in the room based off of the kind of world build that happens with the song, and they both kind of spawn off of each other. Like the song Gut, we wrote, one of the band came in from like a personal experience with like Universal Credit and work coaches. And it was really shit. It wasn't cool to see some
fucking horror stories in that, in there.
Yeah, man. And I've been on benefits in my life, and it's just not fucking fun.
No,
Just
same.
generally being dragged into that institutional kind of hypocrisy and just inadequacy.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's diabolical, isn't it? They fuck everything up. They can't get it right.
They
You're
do,
short. You can't pay. So I mean, you fucked. Like
and
nightmare.
a lot of the time it feels very malicious and humiliating.
Yeah.
I'm not sure whether all the time it's intended to do so. I honestly think that some of the staff try their best, but
Yeah.
they've just got this crushing machine like churning behind them. Anyway,
It's true.
so like with Gut, someone came in the room after having like first-hand experience with that shit, and it was like, well, let's fucking write a song about it. Here we go.
Yeah.
Bang. So the lyrics sort of start from there, and then sort of build the world of frustration and this narrative in your head, and it's like, okay, well, what is this character going to do to like really fucking show this work coach that they've had enough? Okay, they're gonna cut their stomach open and hand them the guts and be like, well, there you go, just fucking take it. So you think, okay, well, what could happen musically with that? There's just a mental break and huge amounts of chaos, and that's what we've tried to put into the music. So yeah, if you listen to the song, you can kind of hear like those moments of, yeah, just I've had enough, and here is panic.
Well, it definitely managed to get that across in the album. As I said, I listened to the press release Sammy sent out, and it's just like such an ominous, dark, it's oppressive, it's visceral. So with that sort of topic of discussion that we're having, like what was the recording process like for you guys? Like was this all done like kind of in house?
It was pretty disparate, and to be honest, if we went to do it again, maybe we would do things differently.
Was it quite bleak and was it exhausting? Like, because it sounds like you kind of just leave, especially when you're particularly making this sort of type of music. It just seems so, you know what I mean? Like you leave your fucking soul there, like like a dementor, mate.
Yeah, man. Like, and that's exactly what I like wanted to and intend to do with how I put vocals across. Like, it's, I mean, I'm an all or nothing person. Like, it's all there or it's just not. But like the recording process was kind of done in two halves. Yeah. So we recorded what we thought was going to be the first EP with Complete Desolation, Fistful of Worms, What Would You Do, and Boiling Stone on. We did that all recorded at Bad Habit in Eastbourne.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, and Jasper, our drummer, who now runs it, he recorded it all. And then we got Matt Pugh from Brighton Electric, who used to be in Eyes of a Traitor. He recorded drums at Echo Zoo in Eastbourne. So it's super DIY. And we were like, okay, this sounds pretty good. And I wanted to send it to Wayne Adams, who I've worked with quite a bit, who's done like things like Green Lung, but he also
great band.
They're great. But he did. He's got this. He's at the center of most interesting and more experimental things going on in the UK. Like he's done all the USA Nails stuff, and he's in Pet Brick with Igor Cavalera, and he's in Big Lad, and he was in Wasted Death, and he records all these amazing bands and is in a lot of amazing bands, and he's just got this fucking niche for noise. So I knew as soon as I heard the finished product of this first EP, it was like, I think we can get a little bit more juice out of this. Let's see what Wayne would do. And then he sent us back what he did, and he made decisions that maybe we didn't even realize were there, like just boosting the noise here or just like dropping it out completely, and then just he done a great job. So he mixed the first EP and then he sent it to Church Road, and then one thing leads to another, and we get signed, and I cried quite a lot.
I was gonna sort of say, like, it's almost like Sammy and Justin do such a great job with Church Road, and they sort of like house under their label some of the most like the best talent in the UK.
100%.
It seems like a real perfect home for kind of like bands like Believe in Nothing.
Well, it might seem like that now, but at the time, we weren't really writing for anyone.
Mm.
The only goal we had was to do like a couple of gigs that year. So for to have to take a punt and send it to Wayne, and then that kind of paying off with an awesome EP that like blew our minds. That made me cry hearing Complete Desolation for the first time from
Yeah.
him. But then getting signed, it was like, oh shit, okay, well that's awesome, but we've got some fucking work to do. And also, I'm moving to Edinburgh as well, so
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
so the first like batch of songs was locked and loaded, and then before I moved away in January, before I think we even got announced, we did a few writing sessions, got some real like rough scratch tracks down. I kind of had certain ideas on how I thought they should sound, um, like that world building, where to put the lyrics and such. And then I moved away and just religiously listened to those like scrappy phone recordings. And if anyone's in a fucking band, you know how important those little buggers are. They're awesome.
Oh.
um, it's so good. I love phone recordings. So yeah, I went away and like sort of lived with those and wrote the lyrics over the course of like a couple of months, really. And it turned into something else that we'll talk about in a bit. But the guys ended up recording it in as much of the same way as possible. So recording all the guitars and bass in Bad Habit, like with Jasper,
Mm.
and then doing the drums somewhere else. And I came down from Scotland to do the vocals, to do it as similar as possible, which was at the time kind of weird. And then we sent it all off to Wayne again to get mixed and mastered. So we tried to get like sonic continuity on there,
Yeah. 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 Yes.
rather than like go to Wayne and like re-record it all or something. It was like, no, what we got is good, and the sort of restrictions and how kind of odd and difficult like we made it for ourselves might actually be part of what's made it special. So
Yeah.
let's do it again. Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, it's so it's so important as well. I think, like as a band, like that you already had like kind of Wayne in mind, like what I
yeah,
mean, because it's all about you know that's why a lot of people kind of go to Kurt Ballou and stuff, like what I mean, like they know
yeah.
in your mind like which guy's gonna probably be get the best out of you, like a football coach in it almost a little bit like that.
100%, man. Like, yeah, if you're in my head, if you're writing like the kind of music that we are, and like if you're using the kind of noise board that I've got, there's a couple of people out there who are going to do a good job, and one of them, his name is Wayne Adams, and he works at Bear Bites Horse in London. Simple as that. And I've worked with him a couple of times, and he's a fucking great guy, and he knows like what kind of shit I'm into.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of things that didn't have to be said about the kind of ideas that we're putting across.
Yeah, well, that's exactly kind of what you want as well, isn't it? Like you're sort of like synced up
Yeah, yeah,
with
man.
the vision.
Yeah, and I'm super lucky to have built that relationship, and um, to know who to go to, because you know if we didn't go to Wayne to sort of push it to the next edge, yeah, we would have released it, and it was really very very good. And we may, I don't know, drop some demos at some point of some other songs that we got recorded. I'm not sure, but yeah, I think writing with that kind of mixing mastering person, that engineer sometimes in mind, like the 12th man on the football pitch, if you're talking
Yeah.
about footballers,
Yeah.
or the manager, it's it kind of helps you, like helped me a bit, like to know that, okay, I think this person is going to be able to do something pretty fucking cool with that, and he'll get it.
Yeah,
um
that's it.
yeah.
Yeah, they've got to get it. So artwork,
Yes.
is that done in house?
Mm-hmm.
Because what I like about you guys is it's you got like such a like almost like a hardcore DIY like punk ethic, where you try and just keep it as in house and as like authentic as possible. So
Yeah, man.
talk me through the artwork.
Okay, yeah. So the artwork, like obviously the themes of the album are pretty large and like wide spanning, yes. So
Yeah.
I didn't really know how to kind of get that across. How, like with the EP covers, sort of got like the single covers got like stock footage of like fucked up bomb sites and like scenes of like after wars had happened, like big empty spaces kind of thing. But I thought for the album, like it needs to be bigger and grander, and it needs to be much bigger and huge, like the world is on fire. And I can't draw that shit. I don't know if there's a picture of it. So I thought, well, the album's called Rot. I should probably use that and make some rot. And I thought about it for a while and was like, what am I going to do? And so I went out one Sunday afternoon and I bought a pig heart, and and then like
fucking hell.
And they're really hard to get hold of on a Sunday, man. It's difficult. And then I asked my neighbor if he had like an old chain, and so like stuffed the chain in this pig heart, and there's like a pig ear and like some like bones that I smashed with a brick, and some old twigs that were used from the first promo video, which will be used in the actual album promo video in a couple of days. So yeah, just a cacophony of all this shit, like meat basically, and vegetation, and little like mealworms, and just things that I'd use to make promo videos. Shoved them all in a box, put them on my steps out home in the sun for like 6 weeks, and let it get stinky basically, and then opened it up every day and like just took a picture and just watched it all just collapse and like just start to get a little bit fuzzy and like rot. It's rot.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, that's the album cover. And then like me and my friend Joey Pearson from Healing Wound, great band. We kind of worked on the color edits and making it look as like bleak as possible.
It's just sort of that's the kind of shit that like, when Slipknot first hit the scene, and it was like so visceral, and like I remember like seeing that first like sort of Slipknot video for Wait and Bleed. I think it had like all the sort of like maggots and decay, and it was fucking and it was so terrifying, man. Like that kind of that kind of thing. And Carcass have used the kind of similar thing, although with their latest album they used it with vegetables, didn't they? Where if you go through the booklet, it's like a torn arteries, the heart's made of a collage of veg.
Really?
Yeah, they built like a heart on the cover is made of different vegetables, and then in the booklet, like as you're going through the book, it's slowly
rotting veg.
Yes, rotting veg. Yeah,
that's interesting. Like
pretty cool.
The thing that like I really, again, ultimately it's just a fucking load of shit rotted in a box. Like it's blunt and it's just there and it fucking stinks. But like there's not too much nuance about it.
Yeah.
But like one thing I was trying to do with like, I wanted to just genuinely with Believe in Nothing visuals, try and blur the line between, is that like arteries or is that like a sort of a piece of vegetation, a twig, or like I've used a piece of spaghetti on the album cover. Is that like sort of like boils, or is that epicormic growth from a tree?
Yeah, you've nailed that, because I was looking at the artwork and I was like, I don't know what this is. Like it's scary to look at because you're kind of like, what the fuck is going on here? But you can't quite tell.
That's so good because like the first, I think even when we first got signed, like our little image for our emails was one of those early like AI images where it was just a mashup of things you do kind of recognize, but you can't recognize the whole image.
Yeah.
That's really cool that you've picked up on that. But it just, the other thing is I wanted it to be in color because a lot of our stuff's like in black and white.
Right.
But like in a record shop, I just wanted someone to pick it up and go like, oh, what the fuck?
That's exactly what That's exactly what I was thinking. Like, what the fuck is going on here?
Well, goody
But
gumdrops.
yeah, but it's so sick though, because like, you can just tell like on every single fucking level the amount of like thought and creativity that's gone into everything.
Yeah, like I think I don't know. I might have had a slight like mental breakdown at some point during this. In all seriousness, I think there
Mm,
maybe was some edge that I found myself at, or some kind of mental health crisis of sorts. Like I'd quit my job after being really fucked over, and decided pretty much on a whim to move to another country, like
mm,
480 miles away, and just involving myself in this like really dark world building of Believe in Nothing, and especially like the lyrical content, and just watching the town I fucking grew up in and love like crumble around me. You know,
mm. Yeah,
uh, it was very difficult. It still is difficult. Just being alive. It's hard and it's challenging
yeah,
and scary world. So like Believe in Nothing has ended up being like the bucket under my brain for me to just spill out this huge amount of creativity, more than I've ever done before. And I stopped taking like all antidepressants and stuff not long before we really pushed in with the
oh,
band.
okay.
So I think like in hindsight, when I think about it with these kind of little trigger points,
Mm,
like I feel the band has really captured a moment in my life, which I feel lucky to be able to have that documented in the
yeah,
form of music, and even more so now with getting signed, being able to have that documented in the form of a physical album. Like
yes,
one thing that have really sort of played into my thoughts, especially with writing the second half of the album, it's like this is going to be here, like in a physical form, way past when I'm dead. Like
yeah.
this is
Uh,
going to be on someone's fucking shelf when I'm probably not even going to be, like, the sound of my speaking voice won't be remembered by people. Maybe, who knows?
yeah, right.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
it's a mad trip, isn't it? Like, I suppose that's kind of like, like how like scientists and like inventors and like Oppenheimer, where you kind of just you got a thought that fuck knows where that's come from. You just sort of pull that out of the ether,
mm,
and then that's come into a physical. You know what I mean? It like goes through all these kind of like transitions
yeah,
and now it's like a physical fucking thing that
yeah.
you've got in front of you that
Well, I haven't
started
got it.
off.
I haven't got it yet, but I
No,
think it's
not yet. Yeah, but yeah, it must be a fucking it's crazy when you think about create
it.
the start of a creating something to then it being a physical thing.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, it's just I've been able to like push with, like, have this really strong image in my head of where the lyrics live, where what kind of world the band sound sits in, like not like real world, but like this post civilization, crumbling buildings, the moss has already rotted and decayed, kind
Mm.
of just it's done, finality, it's finished, there's no chance, there's no winning, it's done. Like that's where the fucking album lives in my head. So having such a strong image of that, and wanting and having like basically being the person who's running social media, it's like, right, well, I've got some more work to do. There's
Well, I
all
was
this.
gonna say that the follow-up game's gonna be a bit mad, isn't it? If everything's fucking finished, you're gonna have to
Uh,
get into gear.
yeah, it's so yeah, I've been able to like make a really strong image with the visuals and like all
Yeah.
the promo videos and all the merch, just like the output that I've done, um away from just simply screaming into a microphone is, like, I'm really proud of myself. But yeah,
I say you should be, man. It's fucking a monumental
thank you.
trajectory that you guys have had, which we'll get onto in a second. While we're on the subject of all this creativity and stuff, like you have written an accompanying novella
Yes.
called The Wisp.
Yeah. Yeah, I've written a book kind of thing.
Yeah, so let's have a little chat about that as well, because that's so fucking cool that like that's a thing, you know. More
Yeah,
bands should do shit like that.
it wasn't really a plan as such, but like when I'd moved up here and I'm sitting there misering over my fucking little phone recordings, thinking, what world do you live in? Like trying to paint these pictures, put color to the images that the music's done, put a frame to that shit. I just had all these fucking ideas, and a fair amount of time on my hands, and like no friends up here, just I was busy by all senses, but like I had time. So all this world building around the lyrics just ended up being expanded on, and I just sort of blasted off a couple of paragraphs, wrote a few chapters, like, okay, that's the beginning of an idea. Like I'll make it a short story. And then like the last few months I've been managing a sex shop in
Yeah.
Edinburgh, which is fucking bizarre. Uh,
Man, that's fucking. I bet there's some stories there.
I mean, that's another podcast, I'd
Yeah,
say.
yeah, yeah. We'll do a separate one for that.
But I've had time on my hands, so I've been able to like go back over those like initial like brain vomits and be like, well, this isn't really lyrics as such. I'll expand on it, and it's kind of ended up as being like a 10,000 word novella of sorts. And it's kind of cool because like as I was writing the second half of the songs, like with like meth and deserts of glass and rot and some of these longer form things, I was able to work them off against each other. So like the book The Wisp is basically a lazy man's version of trying to be clever and trying to make a central figure to bring all of these disparate worlds together over like in a timeline. So like what would you do is essentially about someone having their head cut off in a town square in Eastbourne, say. But then like songs like Boiling Stone are about Hiroshima, and then you've got post-civilization things over here. It's like, well, how can I bring them all together? So the Wisp is like a sort of ethereal, floating, formless thing that just observes these things with like a repetition of like, I'm the wisp, I observe, I'm present. A bit like the way I kind of think of the wisp is like a sort of, when the trees drop all their leaves.
Yeah.
And you got all those little scrappy fucking white plastic bags
Yeah.
in the trees that have been there for years. Like I think of that kind of thing as the wisp. Like it's there just looking over things, just watching, observing it, being present, seeing the horrors over a certain amount of time. So, and it floats between all this time. So yeah, that's what the wisp is. Just sort of long form goes into these worlds that are built around the songs. It might be
So
the
cool.
self-indulgence of quite an unwell man, but I don't. Maybe someone will read it. I don't. I literally
Holy
don't.
shit, that's so fucking cool though, man.
I don't care if anyone likes it or reads it. It's for me.
Yeah, so what is the intention kind of with that? Are you gonna print some up and have them available at shows and stuff like and
Yeah, man. Like so I don't actually. It's pretty late in the day to be saying this, but I'm not 100% sure what I'm gonna do yet.
yeah, fair enough. Yeah, fair,
Like
fair enough, bro.
I've
You'll
still
figure it
got
out.
I've still got a few thousand words to finish off and like get it edited to a place I'm happy with.
Yeah.
But it will be with us on tour. I'm thinking of making basically like a pretty like really rudimentarily DIY zine, and
Oh, mate, so cool.
like bound by sort of twine kind of thing, and use some of the kind of collagey textures that the noise artist Knifed Out of Existence uses in his imagery.
Right.
Where he like layers up just like Xerox style black and white images, and then I'll start putting text on that. I don't know, something like that, because we've got like a more professionally printed zine of the recording diaries that I wrote for this second half. which is like ended
Okay.
up being like a sort of small book, which is another long form writing thing I've done. Do you see what I mean? It's like it's constantly fucking pouring out. It's
Yeah,
relentless.
yeah, but that's so cool that you've got like an outlet for it, like that you're sort of, you know what I mean, like focusing it onto different bits and pieces. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I imagine
man.
it'd probably go fucking mental if you didn't
Yeah,
have an outlet or something
I
like that, like
do I
someone
I
that
do
thinks like
worry
that.
about it. Like I worry about that immensely. Like I did an interview for something a couple of days ago, and yeah, that kind of came up, and it was like if I didn't do the band, like, or if I didn't have this outlet, I really do worry about what would be going on. Like, I don't drink, I don't do drugs, I don't smoke, I'm giving up caffeine. I don't have any fucking vices. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
to do this band, like, it's an obsession to be doing music. It's like there isn't sort of I do it sometimes. It's I do music
all the time.
or the band, I do the band or community around it all the fucking time. It is just there.
Is has moving to Edinburgh helped with any uh you know, what's the word, like inspirations and stuff? Because like, we met up in because I took a break up in Edinburgh. I fucking fell in love with the city, but obviously, as you know, it's a really macabre place, like
Yeah.
history wise. So like, how have you found that?
I think it's a privilege to be somewhere with such rich and brutal history.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, so good. Like it's just fascinating, isn't it?
Yeah, man. But it hasn't necessarily leaked into, I suppose, like the pumping veins of the band
Yeah,
yet.
yeah,
Uh, I feel like, to carry on that kind of tangent, the arteries of my creative brain are still clogged with like a lot of fear and
mm,
I suppose carrying a bit of trauma from seeing things so tough down south.
yeah,
Edinburgh is a bit of a fairy tale sometimes.
mm,
Feel a bit removed, which is great.
yeah. I think
But
sometimes you probably need that a bit, like
yeah, 100%,
a
man.
bit of a
Like
separation.
everything's just crumbling and on fire.
Especially when you're going down there, because like we had the quick discussion when we were having a drink in the pub
The Conan
about
Doyle.
the Conan Doyle,
Yeah,
you know, nice little pies they do there, and nice statue of Sherlock Holmes outside. But you were saying like how fucking the dedication of commuting down
yeah,
to the southeast to do your band obligations, and I suppose in some ways it must be a bit of a relief for you to be able to separate away from it,
yeah,
because
yeah,
at least you're not
100%.
in it all the time, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's I don't know, it like maybe it's just me being like too empathetic or getting in my own head, or just being too much of a sponge for stuff, or just purely like an algorithm has thrown me the worst parts of stuff and I react to it enough. Do you know
Mm.
what I mean? Like um but yeah, being separated from it is great, and it means that I savor it just that little bit fucking more
Yeah,
when I
man.
go and do it. Like traveling down to go and do the vocals for the second half of the album, the bits that I've written the recording diaries about, um, it's it was like a pilgrimage, and it was so important. Like I've been carrying these like ideas, these the absolute like spiteful, menacing words at the front of my head for a good few months, and getting to go down and just empty them out is exactly what people here will hear on the album. Most of it's like come out in like the first take, and most of it's the first time I screamed like
Fucking
that
hell.
kind of stuff. So it's come from a real place of like frustration and like I'm scared. Like the world is fucking scary.
Yeah,
I'm terrified.
it
You know,
is a scary place. Yeah, yeah.
it's horrible. But yeah, like having that separation is good. It makes me enjoy it more. In fact, like I've got to finish packing because I'm coming back down your way tomorrow.
Oh,
Uh,
sick. Okay. What's
yeah,
what's going on?
well, we're gonna be doing 2 days practicing the set for the tour, and then we're doing what seems to be some kind of royal weekender in Tunbridge Wells and Windsor.
Oh, the Royal Borough of Tunbridge
Yeah,
Wells.
so
Nice.
we're going to be doing like we're going to be practicing the tour set at these two gigs we're playing. So yeah, we're doing that basically.
Oh, cool, man. That's fucking sick. Talk it. So, speaking of doing live shows and stuff, your first live show, I believe, was a year ago, 24.
Yeah, it was actually, you see that big black poster behind me there?
Yeah,
That was the first show. So it was a fundraiser I put on at the now defunct covers band bullshit Fuckhole the Eagle in
yeah,
Eastbourne.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I put that show on there amongst loads of other great shows to raise money for our friend Ian Passmore, who was dying of MEN type 2 or type 1.
Yeah, you're type
Raising
one.
awareness for multiple endocrine neoplasia type 1. So he loved Black Groove, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I got our friend Black Shape to come down from London, and I put us on just to open the show because he really liked my old band. And it was there for him as a bit of a send off, and he passed away the day before.
Fucking hell, mate.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
it was really sad. We raised like over £1,000 for St Wilfrid's Hospice, who took
Yeah.
care of. But yeah, that gig was emotionally charged.
Oh, I can imagine, mate. That sounds terrible.
It was sad, but that was like our first show as Believe in Nothing. We had a little thing about 2 months before where I was putting a show on, and a Hastings band dropped out like last minute. Their singer went AWOL, so we jumped on, like, did an improv thing.
Okay.
But yeah, that one was our first show.
Fucking hell, it just seems that like even like on the studio side of things and the writing side of things, and then even spilling over to the first live show, everything that surrounds the band is so fucking intense.
Yeah, it's pretty intense. I'm really
Yeah.
intense person as well, so God bless the rest of the guys for putting up with me.
Oh man, sick. That's
But
cool,
like, yeah, there's a deep and rich texture to the band that's like bedded in. I mean, when in saying in terms of the band, like, it's kind of become its own fucking thing with
Yes, yeah.
kind of people that are there. But yeah, there's a lot of layers of intenseness there.
And like even into the point that since you're a still really young band
Yeah,
in terms of band careers and stuff, you're already blowing up in Metal Hammer and Kerrang
yeah, I
as
still
well, and that
find that
has to be quite
crazy.
intense as well. Let's say,
It
I
is, yeah.
mean, I'm feeling like fucking all like, oh, like just talking about it all, man. So like, are you guys having to like kind of experience like the writing, the recording, the travel, blowing up, getting signed, the shows, everything. Like it's just like it must be like living
Yeah,
must be insane.
it is pretty mad. Like, it's kind of hard to be pretty casual about it.
Yeah. Can't be chill.
Like, people like, yeah, what you've been up to is like,
Oh, yeah,
um,
yeah, exactly like that. That's
but
exactly it, bro.
the Jasper is running a business and doing a huge amount of stuff for Eastbourne Music Collective, and he's in another two bands, and then Steve is trying to run a business and like teaching guitar and making pedals and like in another one band, and Lawrence is he is in another band and he makes a bit of pop music as well, and really bang into photography. We're all so fucking busy. I am
Yeah,
not as busy with anything else like that, so I've kind of really taken the reins of the band, and like, basically my whole ethos for Believe in Nothing is like, no one else is going to make this shit happen for you. Like, the label, the manager, like the rest of the band, sometimes no one else is going to do it. I got to fucking do it, and I got to
yeah,
do it to the best of my ability to
yeah,
prove everyone wrong who ever fucking doubted me.
absolutely. Well, we
But
had that conversation about Spike, didn't we?
yeah, like,
That's it, innit? Yeah,
fight alone is what holds me aloft. Yeah,
that's right.
everyone who ever fucking thought that I was just a passenger with them, or like I just couldn't do anything like this. Well, here you are. Fuck you.
Absolutely. I was going to say, now's the time to tell them all to suck your balls, dude.
No, I wouldn't do that. There's much more malicious ways to do that, my friend.
That's true. That is true.
Anyway, yeah, like I'm really proud of what the band has become, and I still kind of like we all kind of have to pinch ourselves a little bit. With getting like I think like 5 out of the 6 singles that we've brought out, which firstly is a lot of singles, has ended up in Kerrang, and then like a lot of press. Like it's been amazing.
It's crazy, dude. Like it's fucking pretty nuts.
I hope people can kind of see what's happened with the band and being like, well, from listening to this interview, it's actually sounded like a lot of hard work. Like,
oh god, yeah,
because it is like,
too right.
Some of us have been in bands before, yeah. Like we got signed to Church Road, and they were like, really like the EP. Who are you? Like this didn't happen off the back of like knowing Sammy and Justine. Like, and I feel like that's a really pure way of getting these incredible opportunities that we feel so lucky for. Like we got it off the back of them liking music that we wrote for us. We didn't write it for fucking anyone.
Yeah, 100%. And they do. I mean, fuck me, they're at every show as well, innit? They got their ear to the ground.
Yeah,
up and down the country, man.
Yeah, they didn't see us until only about a few months ago. Our first Black Heart show, I think.
Yeah.
And like our live show is really pretty fucking extreme. Like I'd say it's a bit more confrontational than the album. I do some really horrible things. And I held it back a bit for when you first saw us, but even then they were still like, whoa. So I'm surprised. I'm happy they still want to work with us after seeing some of that.
Yeah, that's fucking cool as fuck, man. I still need to get out to see a show, actually. Have you got anything coming up down here?
Yes, we've got we're obviously doing the Royal Weekender this weekend on the 24th and 25th, but then the album tour starts on the 27th of November at the Black Heart, and then we play Eastbourne Pier on the 28th, and then we're like up and down the country basically, and we end in Brighton at Green Door Store.
Eastbourne Pier, mate, I'll be there.
Yeah, man, I would. Black Shape are going to be playing it, who we did our first show with. Healing Wound are going to be there.
Oh, nice.
Local little fuck cunts loose ends are going to be there as well.
Nice, man. I was going to ask you actually about obviously from being down this way in Brighton and surrounding areas and stuff, like it's really been noticeable in the last, well, I would say for me, the last 12 months, but I assume it's probably been going on for a bit longer than that. Because when I was a nipper, like sort of like 18, 19, 20, 21, that sort of age, there was a really good like metal scene. We had the Gildridge, the Rum Runner, like the Dolphin, and there was, it was mainly like metalcore stuff and like some sort of like Converge-esque sort of rip-off bands and stuff. But it was, I've never seen anything like it. Like the local scene, the pubs were packed out. Like, it completely changed the sort of almost really the sort of cultural identity of the town, because they would kick out all the sort of like old boys that'd be drinking the pints and reading the Sun, and then you'd have all these like kids coming in with the big hair and like, the fucking white belts and stuff, and they'll be playing metal music and stuff.
That white belt thing, I listened to your poddy with so I can't say the name, that Sangwizagabog.
Oh yeah.
He mentioned that white belt thing about Blood Brothers. Like, fuck me, I had a white studded belt as well.
Me too, mate. That's so funny. But at the moment it seems like that's kind of happening again. I mean, we've just recently had Chubstock down here. And,
Did you go down to that one?
I didn't manage to. I was absolutely fucking heaving on Saturday. I really wanted to get down there, but I just had so much on, like I couldn't get away. But did you go?
No, I live in Edinburgh.
I was going to say, but like well, that's what I mean. Like you're always kind of supporting everything that's kind of going on down here. So like I've seen your post, and I was like, oh, Caine was down there then. Like I thought maybe he might pop down from Edinburgh.
They asked me, and do you know what? I kind of wish I did go. Like the scene in Eastbourne is fucking thriving, yeah.
Yeah,
But it's not happened by accident. It's taken like years
it
of
has.
hard work. Like myself and my partner Nancy and Drew, who used to run Bad Habit, we kind of all like sort of planted the seed and started it, and then Jasper came in and just absolutely took it to another level with his wife Mila. Lots of other people involved, like lots of other sound people, photographers, and people in bands, obviously. But you know what people see now, like with things like Chubstock, and like the shows that like my thing Tinnitus has put on gigs at the pier. We've got in Human Nature coming to
Yeah,
play.
I saw that, mate, and I was just like, "Holy fuck!" Like that is massive, isn't it?
Yeah,
For
but
Eastbourne as well, particularly.
to garner the foundations for that has we've had to do all the little bits, and everything that happens in Eastbourne is not easy. It's always complicated. No one's got any gear. Like everyone has to hire it in, or we have to beg, steal, and borrow. We have to prove our worth to people over and over again that these shows are either A, worth doing, or B, maybe profitable. And
Well, that's it, isn't it?
if they're not profitable, then fucking welcome to the real world of playing gigs. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Well, that's that. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of why like Brighton just overshadows it, isn't it? Because obviously, one, it's a city. Two, it's particularly alternative in terms of its uh, demographic, I would say. And like most of the bands will just go there, won't they? Because there's like loads of venues there. So you got the Green Door Store, you got
yeah,
the Old Haunt or whatever the fuck it's called now, Chalk, and
yeah.
it's probably not so much of a scramble to get any gear because
Yeah,
everyone's a musician there.
well, the venues of like they know the score. Like
Yeah,
you do a hire for like 150, 180 quid. It comes with an engineer. It comes with gear. You try and put that forward to a place that regards itself as a venue these days in Eastbourne, and they're like, "Sorry, what?"
yeah, they are. They don't have a clue, do they?
Yeah,
It's just
they
like,
don't have a clue. But like, yeah, I mean, the Chubstock, the one band that I didn't go, right, but the most important thing for me is seeing how things are growing from afar. Yeah,
100%, mate. Yeah.
and there's one band that's summing it up, and they're called Mortuary.
Yeah, I know. I know Hannah's in that, and
Yeah,
so's fucking hell, I'm blanking on his name. He's gonna hate me now.
Ben
Yeah,
and
who's
Sasha
Sasha? Sasha. That's it. Sorry, Sasha. You probably
and
listen to this as well.
and I think his name's Charlie Rex Spence or something.
Yeah,
So like these little seeds that like myself and Jasper and everyone planted like years and years ago, with gigs like Black Groove playing the Eagle and the Box and stuff. You see the lineage of how it's affecting people, and then it comes to fruition in the form of a band like Mortuary, where the drummer, he has come to most shows that EMC has put on. He's in multiple bands. He's super creative, and he is just an unbelievable drummer. Like old school kind of Sepultura death metal vibes.
yeah,
And then people like Hannah, they've only known heavy music through the platform of the gigs that we've put on in Eastbourne.
yeah,
And
locally.
that's opened the door to them, like in Conan and things like that. Now she's
Yeah,
joined that band, and they played their first show with her in it, and they absolutely fucking nailed it.
yeah,
And it's like they're taking inspiration from obviously the big boys like Conan, but they're taking inspiration from Believe in Nothing and Black Groove and
yeah,
making it their own thing. And it's like I sit at home and watch these like events unfold, and like me and Nancy, we watched their video of them covering Hate Shit, Black Groove
yeah,
song,
yeah,
on the tram home yesterday, just like holding back tears, chin wobbling. It's like it's just so beautiful, like creating opportunities for people to play music. Such a rudimentary thing, but like I suppose that's where Believe in Nothing sort of opens up into something else. Like we are very community based as well as being grim fucks. Like
yeah, yeah.
we have
Well, I mean, I suppose
really,
the irony is that they're believing in something.
yes, they are. Yeah. And they're believing in themselves. They're believing in like this like ancient fucking privilege of making music. Like it's such a privilege to make music, and you need somewhere to kind of do it sometimes. So like
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I mean, yeah. As I said, like I remember kind of doing recordings and rehearsing at string bendies.
Yeah.
And the scene was so good. Like all the pubs, all the big pubs and that, like in the town, just basically turned into metal venues. But since then, and that's a long time ago because I'm 40 now, there's been nothing until recently. So it's super sick to kind of see,
Yeah.
the underground theatre and stuff, like putting on events like that and shows.
Yeah, it's great. Like lots of promoters popping up with, like I started Tinnitus when I quit the Eagle to sort of just carry on that putting gigs on thing.
Mm.
We had to, like, me and Jake started it from Black Groove, and most of the shows we just booked ourselves, so we didn't have to pay ourselves anything, and then
Yeah.
just tried to book good bands from Brighton that we loved, and was like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if Pascagoula played the Pier? Yeah, let's do it. Who else can play like for free? Because it's
Yeah.
expensive.
I think that's kind of like what Dinko does as well, from Vehement and stuff. He puts on Winter
Doomsday
Assault
Fest.
and Doomsday Fest at the Green Door Store and that, and he just does
Yeah.
it for the love of it, and it's the fucking sickest shit ever. Like,
Yeah, and I think that's how good stuff grows, and I'm sure that, like, not to put the meaning of Church Road into their mouths, but I'm sure that things like Church Road started because they fucking love it. And
they love it. They
and they
are it.
just want to help people get the best of what they can, and like,
Yeah,
I completely like see how these things can happen, because like you want to create an environment for people to be able to use your sources or connections, and sometimes you have to
100%.
put a name on it, like Church Road
Yeah,
Records, or
yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
That's what you got to do.
Yeah, it's awesome.
You know,
Like the community behind heavy music in the UK at the moment is just absolutely, like, it makes me emotional. It's
yeah.
amazing.
I
It's
honestly think that like Justine, Sammy, and Church Road are like pretty much spearheading that. Like, I think they're definitely like the top label for punting UK talent.
Yeah, I still just can't believe that they're working with us. I think it's yeah, I feel like it's a crazy thing.
I have to get you on a tour with the Mastiff with Church Road.
Yeah, we
They
did a
are,
show
aren't they?
with them. Yeah, yeah, with that was we did one with them and Worn Out and Cops. Yeah, that was
Yeah,
good.
fucking hell, man. So, so sick. So I'll end this off, mate, by I'll just ask you kind of like we usually ask guests like what their Mount Rushmore of vocalists would be as you're a vocalist.
Okay, how many faces do I get to have?
Well, like some people will do like however many fucking faces are on it. I don't even know. They're like 5. Is it 4 or 5? But then Devin did like 1,000,000. So just
Okay,
make your own mountain man.
okay. Well, number one, Dylan Walker. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I I love Full of Hell. I love Dylan Walker. I love them so much. I'll tell you how much I love them. Here you
To
go.
us. He's a sick freak, isn't he? That
He's
guy. I don't know
he's
how the fuck he does his shit, man.
such a legend.
Crazy.
So that's how much I love Full of Hell. I got a second one of their noise pedals
Oh
out of
shit.
out of the pure fear that the one I use on my board would be broken
Oh, so
one day.
sick.
Anyway, so yeah, Dylan Walker, number
Yeah.
one, incredible. Lingua Ignota, do you know her?
I don't. The name does not ring a bell.
So Lingua Ignota, because she just has this, she's got an incredible like classical voice, operatic, but then does these zero technicality, like pure pain, like please help me kind of pain screams. And that is hugely and has been hugely inspirational for Believe in Nothing.
Is she a solo artist or is she in a band?
She's a solo artist. It's
Okay, right, got yeah.
yeah, she did Armory of Obsidian Glass on the Full of Hell album. She
Right, yeah.
that.
I've heard that song, yeah.
So there'll be Dylan Walker, then there'll be Lingua Ignota, and then I think there would probably be Seb from Meth, because another sick freak.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, probably like Nick Cave, but not so much for his vocals, more so much for his songwriting.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like undeniable.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So yeah, that'll do. And
Yeah.
then yeah, I think that'll be fine.
Oh yeah, so that's a nice mount. That's a nice Mount Rushmore, man.
Yeah.
So Rot is out on the 31st of October.
Yes.
That's Halloween, isn't it?
Yeah, apparently so.
Was that deliberate?
It wasn't actually.
Oh, okay.
It was supposed to come out on the 28th of November, the day that we play Eastbourne Pier.
Okay.
Because I'm so incredibly productive and organised, I got all of our shit over to Church Road soon, and they were like, "How about we put it on Halloween?"
Do you know
But
what?
yeah,
That's like perfect for that record as well. Like Halloween, I think like it's fucking nuts because it is like a cinematic horror experience in audio form.
I'm glad that you think that, and you don't think that we're some kind of modern iteration of Murder Dolls.
Oh Jesus, fuck no!
Because that's what I originally thought that people might think, like, ooh, spooky band, spooky music, ooh, metal.
Oh, you got the dreadlocks for that, mate.
Yeah, I haven't got the hair for
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Could have like one dreadlock coming out of my beard.
Oh, so sick.
Some kind of unicorn.
Yeah, oh yeah, like a
Yeah.
oh mate, awesome. Fucking hell. Yeah, man. So that's out Halloween, and you're on tour, so people can catch that on your socials.
Yeah, from the 27th of November till the 15th of December. Get your fucking tickets.
Yeah.
I don't need to tell you where to get them because you probably don't care or know where to do it. So
you better fucking care because on this platform, mate, everyone supports the bands and the scenes, and you know,
well,
that's the important thing.
Hopefully people will come.
Yeah.
Like I would say that we are a live band, number one. Like I do a lot of stuff with shit in my mouth.
Oh no, I see. I didn't want to say anything on the thing because I didn't want to give it away, but
no, that's cool. Like
it looks fucking sick.
Shove a hammer as far down my throat as possible, the bad way.
Yeah. What's the light ball though? Like you got a light ball though, right? As well, that kind of a bit fucking Till Lindemann shit or whatever. Like and it all fucking comes out.
I got like a light on my throat because the first gig we did in Brighton, I broke my hand a couple of days before. I went to see Pascagoula's album launch and punched the stage when they hit the big riff on For Self-Defense.
Nice, the power of the riff.
Yeah, it smashed my hand literally in two. It was one of the most liberating feelings, crunching my bones back together, being like, that was so worth it. Anyway, so I had to get a light here, and then because there's in the Full of Hell pedal, you've got like a light sensitive thing. So I wanted to have control over that by having a beam of light off my throat because my hand was broken, so I only had a cast to use. So there was some thought to it, but it's kind of stuck around now, and it's quite nice to like get in people's faces with this like bright light.
It's just I just think it's so cool that like with that little story about that and the release date being the 31st, that these things happen and they're like genius.
Yeah, like I've good ideas are often by accident.
Well, yeah, there you go, you know, but absolutely fucking sensational, mate. So absolute pleasure having this chat with you.
Thank you.
And I can't wait for everybody to hear this album, man, because if you're into sort of like Full of Hell and as you said, like those sort of bands like Chat Pile and stuff, like this is gonna blow your fucking bollocks off on Halloween as well of all nights. Yeah, I mean, why are you fucking on a sugar rush or something?
Yeah, maybe like the morning after when you got a really bad hangover or come down.
Yeah.
Stick Believe in Nothing albums, rot on, and have a little existential crisis, maybe.
Yeah, man, definitely. That's the only way to be, mate. I'll start the the month of November. Terrified.
Yeah, massive thanks for having me.
You're welcome, mate. Absolute pleasure.
The rest of the guys, it means a lot to come on this, and like it's just really cool, like two dudes from Eastbourne being able to chat metal. And
yeah, absolutely, mate.
Just it feels good to be able to have touch tips.
Oh, fuck yeah. I love it, mate. Yeah, fucking right, dude. Yeah, man. So everyone, you can catch Believe in Nothing on tour. You can check out their socials and you know where to find us. So until next time, peace out, guys.
Bye.
Bye.